getting ready to close our second art space due to gentrification. About a month ago, 2 months ago, I started becoming aware of the situation up at Standing Rock. We had a family trip. We drove through Pine Ridge Reservation this summer, earlier in the summer. And upon returning, I became aware of the situation at Standing Rock. There's a pipeline that we're trying to stop up there called the Dakota Access Pipeline. This pipeline is threatening the Missouri River, which is threatening the clean drinking water for about 18 million people. The pipeline was originally slated to cross up at Bismarck, which is the capital of North Dakota, but the fine people in the city of Bismarck did not want to have a pipeline threatening their water supply, so they pushed the pipeline further south, so it's just north of the Standing Rock Sioux Indian Reservation. Currently there are roughly 5,000 or 6,000 people up there at Standing Rock who there's a bunch of camps up there. There are many people who are committed to stopping this pipeline. The winter is coming in North Dakota. We're expecting the weather to get down to 40 below zero, and the people up there need to stay the course through the winter. If we can make it through 2 deadlines, one in January and one in March, we have a very good chance of breaking the back of the access pipeline funding cycle and stopping the pipeline. My friend Paul and I just felt compelled to stand up, right? What I saw from the hundreds, literally hundreds of different tribes, traditional enemies, camping side by side, coming together to stand up to our consumption of fossil fuels, which, if you've heard about global warming, it is a serious problem for all of our survival. To me, I recognize it internally as this call from the earth that is calling to us all. The situation at Standing Rock is something that these people have come together to stand up in North Dakota, but they're really standing up for all of us. This is an evolutionary alarm clock where the people who are closest to the earth are well aware of this alarm, this signal, and they are reaching out to everyone to stand up to these fossil fuels, to stand up to these pipelines, to stand up to the destruction of water by the mining of power from death. Oil and coal come from dead animals and plants, and that power has been wielded over man for generations. Water is life. When you're born in a flush of water. Water makes up most of your body. Water is very important. Here in the desert, it's fairly obvious, right? Try to live without water. So we made this long trek up there. Currently there is the call for more people to come up. If you plan on coming up to Standing Rock, be prepared to be arrested. The police are very, very authoritarian. They're pointing loaded weapons at praying protesters. One of the biggest challenges to the camp is to survive the winter. So there are fundraising sites online for helping to supply for winterization. If anyone has skills as far as constructing straw bale houses, any kind of earthen houses, there is the need to be able to build shelter so that the thousands that are up there can survive and keep the pipelines halted. When we became aware of going up to Standing Rock, are many issues right here in Arizona that are equally problematic. The shirt I'm wearing is from Oak Flat, which is out east of here. This is a ceremonial ground where from the San Carlos Apache have been practicing their women's coming of age rituals in this sacred space. It is currently threatened by Resolution Copper, which is threatening to use robotic mining to drill out $1 trillion worth of copper, and then they're going to just collapse the whole area. This is like a space that's been used for thousands of years to initiate women into their adulthood. There are places like this all over the state. Has anyone driven on the 202 freeway?
Yeah.
The 202 freeway is expanding through South Mountain, destroying another sacred space for the Dakota, who are the Native American people whose ancestral lands you're standing on. Something that I feel fairly dark among you. I feel the sense that there's a positive light that you want to bring into the world, but I feel that the message that I have for you is that you're living in a fascist country. You're living in a place that has had 400 years of slavery and 500 years of genocide. And that genocide is not something old in the history books. It is ongoing today, and the Dakota Access Pipeline is one of the most recent visible actions that is being done to threaten the existence and livelihood of the Native Americans. But I want to leave you with a message of hope, because much like the analogy of the iceberg with Arpaio, Standing Rock is just the tip of an iceberg of people coming together and recognizing that we are all in this together. That the Native American people are rising up, and they are hopeful that you all will rise up too together, so that we can protect the earth from our bad habits of fossil fuel destruction. Thank you very much.